Okay, I have finally received my September cotton cut modern maker box. So I've already cracked the seal and cut the paper so that I could get into it easy. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to pull out of here is a pencil, because every Cotton Cuts Modern Maker box comes with a pencil. And this one says Quilted Memories Last. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the cards that come in the box. I can get this thing to, yeah, here we go. So the first one says, don't count the stitches, make the stitches count. And on the back of it, you get a fabric collection description of what might be in this box. So this one is, welcome to your September box. This month, your box features 3 cuts of fabric from this brand new collection. And this collection is by Orchid and Grove by Jennifer Moore of Monaluna for Wyndham Fabrics. The next one is our September block for 2024, and tomorrow is the 15th of October, so you'll need to get this block posted on Instagram and on Facebook's Cotton Cut Fabric group to participate in a drawing. And who knows, if you can sew the block, but you can also color the back of this card and enter both, and make sure that you use the hashtag CC Color Challenge. That way they can see that you've posted the blocks, and who knows, you might win a prize. And it's usually fat quarter you will win. So this month, look at this. This is going to be a fun block to make. The next card is Cotton Cuts Designer Spotlight and Meet Michelle Bartholomew. And on the card it talks about who she is as a designer for this month of September, along with all of her social media links. And on the back is 5 patterns that she has created, and as a subscription member you can choose one, and there's a code up underneath my finger, and you enter the code at the end of the when you're signing up for it, and you'll get the pattern for free. Okay, let's take this group of fabric out of the box. Oh yeah, I forgot something. One other thing that comes in the box is a spool of cotton 50 weight Aurifil thread. Look at that pretty blue. So that's the other thing you get. Okay, so these are 3 1-yard cuts. Alright, let's take this first. I'm going to move this aside, and we're going to start with the one end of this. So we have this dark blue with, it looks more like a bluish purple color. But look how pretty that is. So let me put it up closer to the camera so you can see it. There's this one. And let's do the next one. This one has birds on it, as you can see. It's really pretty. And then this last one is a floral. And this is the third one. Isn't that some beautiful fabric? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this fabric, and let me put it all together where you can see it all. Okay, so here we are with 3 different colors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Cotton Cuts block of the month, and I'm going to create this block using these three 1-yard pieces. I will be doing a tutorial so that you can watch me put the block together. So stay tuned for this. It'll be starting in just a moment. Now that you've seen all 3 of the 1-yard pieces along with the block of the month, I will begin with starting to create this block by doing a tutorial. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is we're going to do this side. The two half triangles are going to get sewn to the square. So that's where we're going to start first. And you'll see why I am sewing it this way first. Because we're going to make half of a triangle with these 3 pieces. So let's get sewing here. Alright, got this side done. Then I'm going to finger press and use my seam roller. And I am going to put these seams on this particular part of the block open. I think I get better precision when I do that. So let's go ahead and finger press first. And then I'm going to use the seam roller. Press the seam, or take the seam roller and press the seam open. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to put this other one on the top here. I'll go ahead and fold it over, and then we'll sew this side on here. Okay. Okay, what I want to do before I press this open is I'm going to go ahead and trim this seam, gonna trim this off. Okay, then we will finger press open. The block will look a little weird to start with, but once I get everything lined up, it'll be fine. Okay, then we're gonna... So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew this to this solid here. Alright, so first I'm going to pin it, that way I have everything aligned properly. It's making it interesting to work with. I'm so used to batiks, and batiks are they're soft, but they're just not as movable, if that makes sense. Okay. And I think this block is going to be pretty. Okay, we've got that sewn. Now what I'm going to do is finger press. And then I'm going to use the iron to press it also, because I want it to lay gently down. And then I'll show you the block. Now on this one, I'm not going to, this seam here, I'm not going to press it open. I'm going to leave it pressed to the darker side. And I'm doing that because I really didn't want too much bulk. I'm trying to keep the bulk down with this fabric. Okay, let me press it. I'm going to trim off the dog ears. I think we could trim off the tips. How about that? Alright, now what I'm going to do is, now that I have this block sewn, but let me show it to you first. And this is the finished. Now we're going to sew all 4 blocks together. I've already sewn 2 together, so now what we're going to do is sew this one to another one. So I'm going to pin it together, starting on this one end first. because I have points that I have to work with on the other side, and I want to be able to nest them together. And see, and the reason I pressed to the dark side is so I could nest them. Normally I would be doing this with open seams because I find open seams easier. And you should have this lined up. These, I hope you can see what I'm talking about. So you want to make, okay, now I have it pinned. And it's the same thing. I'm going to make sure I have that 1/4 inch seam because we want to try to get this as accurate as we can. I'm having trouble with my sewing machine. I'm beginning to think maybe this needle is bent. Okay, now let's go through here. I just replaced the needle, but it's been acting strange ever since I've done that. So I'm beginning to think that's what the problem is. Alright, let's get this sewn. Alright. Now I'm going to take this to the iron and press it really good, and then we're going to attach the two sides together to make one big pinwheel. Okay, I'm going to move this is the two, now we're going to sew this center seam to put this pinwheel together. So that's where we are. Okay, let's get started. And this is going to require a bit of pinning. Alright, go ahead and put them face to face. I'm going to pin each corner first, outside corner. That's usually how I do things. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I like to take the pin and I put it right where these two seams come together at a point. But I need to make sure that when the needle comes out the other side, it's right at the point in between the seam, not on the side. Then what I do is I'm going to do the same thing here and put the pin right through that point, and it should come out between the seams. See how I did? this is the finished block for September 2024 of the September's Modern Maker box by Cotton Cuts. I hope y'all like the block. Thank you for watching.